What's up, everybody? It's Jay here from the Fantasy Effect team. This weekend is going to be one of the most popular draft weekends for redraft fantasy leagues. And so, with that coming up, I wanted to give my top five players that I am trying to draft in all of my redraft leagues this year. And I think you should too. First up, let's talk about Devon Achan. He is one that's been pretty divisive this year. He's currently his ADP is right at around RB11, so back end of RB1, kind of in that 2-3 turn in that range. The reason why I'm pretty bullish on him this year, so in the 9 games that he played last year, where he both started and finished the game, he was a running back 2 during those. He had 4 finishes during the as a running back 5 or better during those 9 game span. The downside there, right, is the durability. He did get banged up a couple times last year. He got hurt in the preseason. That kind of lingered on into the start of the season, and then he got hurt again mid-year. That caused him to miss about 6 or 7 games. Um, I am buying into year 2 in the NFL strength and conditioning program, lead him to better health. He doesn't need the full workload to be a top running back, right? I know he's going to split time with Raheem Mostert, but I think if he gets 11 to 13 touches a game, which is plenty for him to show out, and I think he can be a running back 1 for you in a steal. I'm happy drafting him anywhere after the mid 2. The next guy I want to talk about here, another running back, is Alvin Kamara. He's way down at running back 16, and to me, he's locked and loaded as a running back 1. Last year, he was suspended the first 4 games of the season. When he came back, so from weeks 5 to 18, he was the running back 6 during that time span. He had a whopping 86 targets during those 13 games, in large part due to Derek Carr being the check down king, right? They did bring a new offensive coordinator in Clint Kubiak. He comes from San Francisco, where they've had a ton of running back success. Obviously, I know CMC was there, but even before that, that offense is very friendly to the running backs. Nothing's really changed for Alvin Kamara to get all those targets. Like, no one's going to take those away from him. It's really Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed there in New Orleans. The offensive line is bad in New Orleans, which I think leads to Kamara getting even more targets. I think he's locked and loaded as an RB1 who you can get in kind of in that mid 4th round range. Let's get into some wide receivers though. First up, T. Higgins. He's kind of going in that 5th round there, wide receiver 27. Stop me if you heard this before. A wide receiver in a contract year absolutely smashes, right? He's playing for money. I think he's set up for a huge successful year. I think he has wide receiver 1 upside. Joe Burrow's back from injury, which is what kind of hampered that offense last year. Joe Mixon's gone, who took a ton of targets last year. Jamar Chase hasn't been practicing all during training camp because he's in a contract dispute. This is just setting up for T. Higgins to absolutely smash. Really excited, pretty bullish on him as well. I'm going to follow that up with another wide receiver, this time in the 6th round. This is Rashee Rice, right? Down at wide receiver 30. I think his ADP is kind of lower because people were really expecting him to possibly get suspended. It comes out now that he's not going to be put on the exempt list, so he is going to play. Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown are there. I know Hollywood Brown's banged up right now. They're legit field stretchers. They're not like the speed guys they've had in the past with Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, who couldn't run routes. These guys are actually legitimate wide receivers, which should open up the underneath stuff for Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce. Rashee Rice should be a good bet to be a wide receiver 2 or better this year. In his final 6 games of the season last year, which was his rookie season, he was a wide receiver 2 in 5 of those 6 games during the playoff run. Last season, his targets were 10, 4, 9, and 8. So when it mattered most, they were throwing targets his way. I expect that to continue this year, and I think he's going to be a really good asset. Now let's dig a little bit deeper here. Let's go all the way down to the 15th round ADP. Tight end 22 is Hunter Henry. Alex Van Pelt comes over to New England to take over offensive coordinator. He comes from the Cleveland Browns, who ran 12 personnel more than any other team in the league last year. 12 personnel just means they had 1 running back, 2 tight ends on the field at the same time. The tight ends are going to be on the field a ton. That system last year led to David Njoku, who had 120 targets last season. Hunter Henry clearly isn't as athletic as David Njoku, so that is what it is. But I think the volume should be there. He was tight end 19 last year, and New England had one of the worst offenses in the league last year. Now they have a competent coaching staff. They got an upgrade at quarterback. The sky should be the limit here. So I think I like him to outproduce his tight end ADP right now. And if you miss out on one of those like top 3 or 4 tight ends, Hunter Henry's a guy I'm targeting super late, and I think he'll do a really good job for you. I hope this helped, and good luck in your fantasy drafts this weekend, guys.